Good morning, everyone. Today I want to start by reading a passage from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verses 27 through 31. Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my claim is passed over by my God? Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. Part of the reason that this verse is on my mind this morning is because of a discussion that I had with a friend of mine about the nature of difficulty in this life. One of the things he wanted to express was a concern that, from his perspective on things, I looked like I had a lot of weight on my shoulders. And given the circumstances, it's not hard to understand why. We have a lot of kids. I am serving in various ways at the church. We have a house that needs maintenance and care. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. On top of that, with everything that's going on with COVID, with social, how do we want to say it? Concern, I guess, is maybe the nicest way to put it. There's a lot of concern out there about how things are playing out. And it said, he'd said that basically from his perspective, it looked like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. And what was funny about it is that another friend of mine had recently approached me in a request for a mentor type relationship, in that he was a single guy and was looking for understanding about marriage and having kids and being in relationships and stuff like that. And to an extent, basically saying, I've seen what you are doing, and I want some of that myself. I want a wife to cherish, children to dote upon and enjoy and teach and all that kind of stuff. And the perspective is, it's very healthy. Those are good things to desire, to have those responsibilities and to be in a place in life and have maturity for God to trust you with those things. So it was a very interesting parallel where on the one side I have some folks who are concerned about me carrying too much weight. And then on the other side, I have folks who believe that they aren't carrying enough weight and are curious as to how to burden themselves likewise. So perspective plays a huge role in trying to figure out if what we're struggling with is big, if it's small, are we capable of doing more, are we capable of doing less? There's a lot of really contradictory ideas at play, and I'll use weightlifting as an example. If you behave with weightlifting as if the weight you're lifting now is all that you'll ever lift, then that will be correct. You're not going to get stronger by lifting the same weight. So what you have to do is you have to lift heavier weights than you're comfortable lifting now. And you're going to push to failure. There's going to be a point at which your muscles no longer can lift the weight or move the weight or whatever, depending on what the exercise is. And then you take a break and you rest, and then the muscles recover, and then you push them hard again. And so you're constantly going beyond what you're currently capable of, and as your body adapts to that, you get stronger. Now, it's likewise with life, I find, in that when you push yourself with new circumstances, you can get stronger, but at the same time, if you just pick up too heavy of a weight, you're not going to lift it at all. You're not going to move it at all. You're going to fail immediately. There's not going to be any sort of repetition. There's not going to be any sort of workup. And so when we look at how the Bible treats weariness, how the Bible treats strength and all that kind of stuff, we see time and again that God promises us that when we are in His will, when we are doing the things that He desires for us, when we are calling out to Him for help, He is going to strengthen us to do things that are beyond our capacity. He is going to provide for us the motivation, the boldness. He's going to support us in that. He's not going to just leave us alone to figure it out on ourselves. or by ourselves, I should say. So this morning, I want you to think about what you're struggling with and whether it's a struggle because you're just trying to do it yourself. Is it a struggle because it's more weight than you can bear and you can't do anything with it? Or are you just struggling because that's the nature of life? And regardless of what your answer is, I would then invite you to go to prayer, read the scriptures on struggles, read about Jesus in the garden and the circumstances that he had going on there. I would recommend reading through some of the different Psalms that David had wrote about the various trials that he was in life and how he interacted with God in the midst of those trials. Look at how the Bible talks about how we should respond to these things. Look at the models in, like I said, in Christ, and to a much more limited extent, people like David. Look at how they handled it. Look at how God responded to them, and then cry out to God yourself. Be faithful to him, and he will be faithful to you. He will strengthen you, and he will teach you what you need to know. And if even in spite of all of this, there still seems to be something missing, then perhaps it's fellowship, perhaps it's friendship, perhaps it's that you need other people in your life as well, and that this whole process isn't something that you should be doing by yourself. Now, there's always going to be, again, these things are all very circumstantial. These things are all very subjective in the sense that there's no one answer that applies to everybody. But I think, again, if you follow through that and understand that, God's going to push you, because God's going to expect that you're going to look to him for help. That you're not just going to be trying to do everything by yourself. That you're not going to look at what Jesus did. Even Jesus, like I said, in the garden, cried out to God for help and had to be ministered to by angels. So if even Christ needed help, then so are we. Reach out to folks, reach out to God, learn about what your limits are and how to grow them and how to do that appropriately. Thank you for your time. God bless. Bye-bye.